Welcome to my leather shop. Today I'm working on a custom firefighter's radio strap. These straps are used to carry the portable radios and can be used at any type of emergency, whether it's a medical call, car accident, or structure fire. This particular customer has requested to have their name and title stamped in. So I've got the strap blanked out, and now I am setting up their last name. You can see it's a pretty long last name, so I have to take extra care to make sure all the spacing is correct. You can see I'm just adjusting each letter. It's quite easy to get a little twist or a little side-to-side movement in these, so it's pretty imperative to take your time in lining these up. This particular radio strap is also going to be receiving stitching down the side, so any side-to-side offset is really going to be noticeable when it's done. So now that I've got the letters aligned, I've gone down and just taken a quick loop from the end, and I've noticed there's just a hair of adjustment in these last few letters. I want to make sure everything's tight, check that spacing, and I'm going to swing over the Mighty Wonder Press from Weaver Leather Supply. Now my initial strike with this is just going to be a little bit of firm pressure, getting the initial imprint of each letter. And this name is actually long enough that I couldn't even get all the letters down. Now I'm checking to make sure you can actually see them, which I could. So now I've put that extra little foot on that first letter, and I'm checking. It's going to take me a couple of hits on each letter to get the impression that I'm looking for. Now, there's a fine line between too thin, which may over time really become quite shallow, but if you press too hard you can damage the leather. So trying to find that happy middle ground. These letters will also be receiving some custom paint, so they're actually going to be a two-tone paint scheme, so a good solid struck impression is pretty important to get a nice looking paint job in the end. So you can see as I'm going through, as I do the final stamping of each letter, I'm going to pull the letters that are all set. I'm going to pull those off, set them aside, so I can make sure they all have the same amount of imprint. And some of them, you see this is a letter I. It's about half the size of the other stamps, so it's really important not to put too much pressure on that one. That one is very easy to go too deep, and you can actually ruin the strap just with that one letter. So again, working up, making sure that they're still sitting in that initial impression. These are 1-inch letters. They have standard sizes, 1/2 inch, 3/4, 1 inch on this style. There's also a number of people that will make custom letters. They will laser cut them from various materials, so you can get some different designs just to kind of stand out from the crowd. But this is what we've chosen for this strap. So now we've finished the last name. Again, checking, not quite happy with that last letter. It is a letter M, so there's quite a bit of resistance in that one. So I'm having to hit that one a couple times, but again, making sure I don't go too deep. And now I'm going to start with their title, which happens to be Chief. So I've left the first letter of their last name. I've added a random letter, which will just be a spacing, and then I'm going to put Chief in the front. And again, you see me working on spacing to make sure it's the same. We've got the hard part done with that long last name, so working pretty hard to make sure I don't screw up the whole strap with this short Chief label. Now, if you remember, I added the M and that random letter as a spacer, I've just removed those. So now I just have the correlating letters for Chief. So I'm going to bring that foot down and get my initial impression. You'll see that strike into the leather. A couple hits, and I'm going to hold it for a second just to get a good impression, and then I'll go and remove that foot and make sure that we have our initial impression, which we do. So now I'm going to come back through with this smaller foot, and again trying to get a good impression, make sure it's about the same depth as the previous ones I've done so it all looks the same. We're looking for consistency with all of these strikes. Now one of the options we have, again I mentioned this particular strap is getting a two-tone color, so the center of the letters are going to be painted one color, and then the outline, which is actually what's getting stamped in right now, that's going to be a kind of an accent color. And as we finish with this last letter, we'll just take one more quick look and make sure that everything looks good. And it does. So we'll give you the big reveal. And then this strap will be off to the next process, which will be paint. Thanks for joining me today. And if there's a video you'd like to see in the future, just drop it in the comments. Have a great day.